Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, thank you for stopping in. If you are returning, I'm even happier to see you. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this information with someone that it might be useful for. And with that said, let's get into what the market did this week, shall we? So starting off with our beloved, we are not going to start with Tesla. We are going to start with the Qs. So let's look at what the Qs did. So uh maybe a week and a half ago or so, and y'all have to forgive me. It's been a few days since I uploaded, but we talked about how the market created this change of character, came up here and retested supply, and I was looking for it to push down. It in fact did push down. This week it retested supply again. So, you know what we call this? Consolidation. So the market is consolidating. I am anticipating it to continue to push down, but until we get a break of structure down to making lower lows, we are stuck in consolidation. I'm fine with that because I make money both directions. Doesn't matter to me if he wants to stay in consolidation, do a break of structure, or change character. Doesn't matter. Your girl makes money either way. So our job is to allow the market to lead us where it wants to go and make money along the way, not to predict the market. So as the market pushed down into our demand, it then retested supply. I did call this trade. This was on Tuesday, June 30th. I did call this trade in my Patreon for a short position. Those contracts did appreciate in value from roughly $525 to today. Those contracts were worth $2,100. So you were able to make 300% on those contracts for a total of around $1,500 in profit with that call out in my Patreon. So if you have not joined my Patreon, what are you doing? Please join my Patreon, www.patreon.com/ ZeeTrades. That is ZeeTrades, TRADES. I will have that linked down in the description for those who would like to join the Patreon and join in with a community that does a lot of different things. There are a lot of different levels in my Patreon. You are able to just get buy and hold plays, to just get option plays, to live trade with me Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And also there's a segment of the Patreon that focuses on learning. So if you want to learn how to trade, but don't quite want to go full in with the one-on-one mentorship, there's something there for you too, where you can join me on Zoom once a month. And I teach like we're learning to trade for a 2-hour session once a month. So don't forget to check that out. But anyhow, this was the cues for the week. That's what it did. It just kind of stayed in consolidation, but we were able to take advantage of those in both directions. Looking at SPY, pretty much the same thing on SPY. We did have a change of character on SPY. And so SPY came up here and retested that. That full-on retest is back on June 15th, sold off back into demand, and then came back and retested ever so slightly a previous supply zone. So let me just adjust that a little bit. But came back and barely retested the supply zone. So it did not give as clear entries as the Qs did for a push to the downside, but ever so slightly. And that happened on today. If you decided to take that entry. I don't trade SPY as much as I trade the Qs, but I do track the overall market, which would be the S&P 500. Moving on to Tesla to see what Tesla did on the week. So Monday was here on June 29th, and it created a change of character on minor structure on June 29th, continued to push up, and then came kind of back to a retest zone. So Tesla did give an overall push to the upside with a fairly large retracement on today, but not fully retracing back into an area that I would be interested in to take a position out of. And so that's where we are on Tesla overall. We have major supply above that we are looking at for overall retest. We'll see what happens and if that, continues to go forward. But we don't have market tomorrow. Tomorrow is July 3rd, and so the market is closed for the 4th of July weekend. And so this is pretty much how the week is finishing out on Tesla. So we'll see how the market moves Sunday night in pre-market and how it opens on next Monday. Next, typically what I track on these market recaps is the SPY, the Qs, Tesla, and then I also do look at gold and oil. Let's see, for gold this week, it is sitting in an opportunity zone for me. I would be looking to short gold here. It did not give a change of character on minor structure. And so I would be looking for an opportunity to go short on gold next week. Um, that's pretty much it for gold. It kind of stayed in consolidation all week long. This was, see what the 29th was. This was the 29th. It did not give us a break of structure and continued to move sideways and slightly to the upside the last 2 days of the week, but did not give us a change of character. So it is still in prime position to go short next week. So we will see how gold performs. And last but not least, we have oil. So we are enjoying these oil prices or gas prices dropping thanks to oil. I will say this, guys, if you notice, those gas pumps now say 10% ethanol. Um, that means that we are not getting pure oil or gas. Sometimes in what I've heard, I'm not a gas expert, right? But what I've been told is that ethanol is kind of like a filler for gas, and so it will burn more quickly. So you're not crazy when you're thinking that gas ain't gassing like it used to. It doesn't, it's not, taking you as far, and your tank is not staying full as long. That has a lot to do with it. So if you are fortunate enough to run up on a fuel station that is not taking that into effect just yet, I would say take advantage of that, or maybe even the premium levels that may not be affected by the ethanol. I don't know if that accounts for like the 93 grade or the 89 grade, the plus grade. I don't know if it's just the lower grades. I'm not real sure about that, but I do know that I've seen that on several of the pumps that I use, and so I elect to use the plus or the premium fuel to try to get better fuel efficiency in my car. So um, just throwing it out there. But back to charting, we do have this fall off, drop off in oil prices. And so I have a level of support down here at $51. It'd be great if we can get down there to $51 a barrel, but we'll see. Unless it breaks this. Uh, as far as how we performed on the week, the 29th was this green candle here. We pushed back up into a supply that already sat there and then sold off. And we were starting to slightly push up again into possibly another level of supply. So I would like to see this thing continue to drop. However, I do anticipate that we will have a pullback of some sort, possibly back to this trend line, and in order to see that, excuse me, we will need to see a change of character on minor structure in order to get a retap of that trend line to make a lower high. So I would anticipate that happening at some point. When it happens, I don't know. My job is not to predict the market, but to read the market and make money by reading the information that the market gives me. I do not have a crystal ball. So, with that said, we have gone over the primary stocks that I go over as far as recapping the week. If you guys would like me to recap any stocks in particular, I am so happy to do so. Please leave those stocks down in the comments. Let me know if there's any information that could be of value add to you on these YouTubes. And with that said, guys, I bid you a good night.